All right, in this video I'm doing the rebrand. So I decided to rebrand to OS 8088. And let me just boot it up so you can see what it looks like inside the emulator. And as a reminder, this is my operating system for 8088 IBM XT class machines that right now can run with just 256 kilobytes of RAM, but requires a VGA card. I will be working on a Hercules one, a Hercules option, but for now I'm doing this with VGA. But I will do the Hercules one. And here it is. So now I have this little chip here instead of the Apple icon that it has before, and it says about OS 8088, a graphical OS for the 8086. I probably should change that to 8088 because I think 8088 and 8086 are both supported. But this video is not about showing you the emulator itself. It's going to be about showing you the web page for it, where you can actually download it and try it out in the browser. All right, so let me show you what that's all about. So I went ahead and after the rebrand, I asked Claude to go ahead and create the website for this, for you all to be able to check it out. So this is the prompt that I gave it. I said I want to ultra code a web page with screenshots and user-friendly information for this project that I'm going to rebrand as OS 8088, the graphical operating system that could have been for the IBM XT series of computers. In the parent folder of this repo, there is a folder where I want you to build a web page that is SEO friendly. I don't know why, but SEO friendly, and can be deployed with a Cloudflare worker at os88.com. So by the time you see this video, you should be able to go to os88.com and check out this emulator. So before you create the web page, I want you to scout this code base for all the key features you want to mention on the os88.com website you're creating. I want you to showcase screenshots in a dedicated page. Use a simple, minimalistic design that resembles the UI we have built in the operating system. You can use QEMU to take screenshots of each feature you want to highlight. You can also use the image MCP with Google Gemini to make assets for the page. So in this video, I'm also showing you how I prompt the AI to get the results that I'm getting. It's very straightforward. I just explain it what I want and let the AI figure out all the details itself. Now, I have configured I previously asked it to configure the Google Gemini MCP server with my private key. You can also do that yourself if you want. Just type it in and it'll explain to you how you do that. And it'll use that to create any assets, any icons, anything that it thinks it wants to create to make the page more authentic. You can. I also told it you can use system tools and install system tools to resize or modify images you create. So with that one, that one's a little bit dangerous because it does make changes to your operating system if it doesn't find tools that it can use. Usually in macOS like this, it can find it, but so it should be fine. And then finally, I want you to create a skill. Skills are used by Claude so that it can repeat tasks. Repetitive tasks. In this case, I wanted to build and publish the latest version of the operating system images to the repo for the web page that is in the parent folder. And then it submits a PR to that repo with the updated release. And then fill in the gaps in the plan as you see fit. This is where you give it a little bit of creativity. All right, so let's go down here and see where I am so far with this. So right now, it asked me 3 questions. How should the OS 88 repo be set up? So it asked me if I wanted a public or private. I asked it to make it private because that's the web page repo. And next, it actually gave me a really great option here, which I think you are all gonna love. Should the site include an in-browser bootable demo of OS 8088? I didn't know that you could actually run v86 in the browser and then run the actual system in there. So I'm going to do that and see how far it goes. Maybe it won't even boot and then I can fix that, but let's see in this video how far we go. And then it asked me a little bit about the skill, if I wanted to do releases as well, official releases. And I am gonna do releases because at some point I am gonna open source the the repo once I have a little bit more features built and a little bit better understanding of how to make this user friendly. I'll put it out there for everybody to mess around with it, download the source code, submit PRs, and hopefully we can make this a little bit better and useful. I want to eventually add networking. I want to eventually add FAT support so you can read DOS disks and a shell. So it's going to be, I think I'm going to take this a little bit farther than I initially thought. I initially thought it was going to be like a toy, but if it runs well on real hardware, especially in monochrome with Hercules, or I might make it the default user interface for some of my IBM XTs because I have several of them. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm gonna hit enter here and I'm gonna let it crunch. It's probably gonna take a while to build this out, especially since it has to generate images and stuff. So we'll check back in a second to see how it, with the magic of editing, we'll check back in a second after it's done. And I want to show you before we see the results how this works. As you can see here, it has agents. So it's decided to have 4 agents for checking out what's inside the feature set. So features, facts. So what is this? This is you're a scout and you're. Let me see if I can see what. This one is looking for features. This one is looking for facts, scenes, and design. Oh, this is preparing screenshots. And this one is looking for, I cannot see the, how do I show the full size of that prompt? I cannot, oh, expand. Okay, there you go. The little enter key. So the features, I'm learning as well. So you're a scout in the repo and operating system called OS/88, Macintosh System 1 style, blah, blah, blah. It's gonna, let me see, where is that? Produce feature inventory for public marketing website at OS/88. The audience is retro computing enthusiasts and hackers and curious programmers who do not know assembly. Some of you do know assembly, but maybe some of you don't. Every feature must be described in a way that makes a normal person understand why it is cool. All right. Cover at minimum and add anything else you'll find. So booting clean into a GUI, overlapping drag. This is why you let it kind of build its own context here, because if you were to sit down here, you wouldn't be able to come up with this elaborate set of requirements. It would take you forever to come up with all these detail. But if you let the AI do it, it'll do a great job. You just have to give it a nice initial prompt, like as if you're telling somebody, hey, I want you to do this for me. And then it says, okay, I'll figure out the best way to do it. Be accurate, verify claims against source. So these new models are really, really smart now. What about the facts one? The facts one is you're a scouting, blah, blah, the source. Your job, gather hard, verified numbers and write the technical narrative for the website's how it works page. It reads, read this, read that, deliver a list of punchy verified facts suitable for a stats hum. And this website is going to be a little bit marketing heavy. We'll see. We'll see what it comes up with. All this other cool stuff, each with the file or command that proves it. A narrative explainer, 3 to 5 paragraphs. Wow, that's a lot of content. For a curious programmer who has never written assembly. What makes writing on preemptive multitasking GUI on 8086 hard, and how this code base solves it. The pit tick context switch. Okay, that'll be interesting to see how that's explained there. Cool. And this one, you're preparing a screenshot, blah, blah, blah. Screenshots are taken by booting. Okay, so this explains how to build the screenshots. And this is visual design language. Oh, this is like, so we can build the website like the emulator. So this, I expect the website to have the white and black look and feel of the emulator. So that'll be cool. All right, so as you can see, these are 2 done. These 2 are already done. This is actively working, so those are done. Then we're gonna have these research agents, and then the synthesize agents. Now, once we understand the code base, then I don't know what research is gonna do, and I know synthesize is gonna bring everything together, so that we can actually build the thing. So we're gonna take the context from all these agents, and then create a website. Which all these have these phases will have their own plan. All right, so let's let it run, and then we'll check out when research kicks off. We'll see what it's gonna do there. All right, so that took a bit longer than I expected it to. That took 1 hour and 34 minutes to build the entire thing. The workflows, let me see if that's still available. So there were several workflows, I think, that were triggered here. It had to figure out how to configure the virtual 86 box, and by running it, and it opened up the browser and kind of figured everything out. And then it had to understand Cloudflare. It decided to go with Python instead of NPM, like a node server, so that's okay. And it had to then figure out how to get the screenshots for the web page. But after that was done, it created the page, and I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to get the page loaded, and here it is. Now, I don't know how I feel about this yet. It's my first time seeing it, but it is like the operating system. It is what I asked for. So let's go through it. This is the landing page, and it says here, this is the graphical operating system that could have been for the IBM XT. A Macintosh System 1 style desktop for the Intel 8086, written entirely in real mode assembly and booted from a floppy. With overlapping windows, pull down menus, a serial mouse, loadable programs, and preemptive multitasking, which the real 1984 Macintosh never had. It's a 640 by 480, 16 colors, 256 kilobytes of RAM, 14 kilobyte kernel, 12 tasks, and I guess 18.2 hertz preemption. All right. You can boot it in your browser, which we're gonna try it out in a second. You can download the floppies and see it working. Okay. OS 8088. So this is the screenshot that I decided to create for this. So that's kind of cool. A GUI in 1886. It did all of this. That is so cool. All right. 5 programs at once on a CPU from 1978. A notepad, a ticking clock, a bouncing ball, the control panel, etc., etc. Control panel is right there. Very cool. And then it explains a little bit what it is. It's boots from the first sector of the floppy disk into a graphical desktop. There's no DOS underneath it and no command line anywhere in it yet. And that's the thing. That's the key distinction. A lot of the other operating systems from the time expected DOS to be underneath, so they launched on top of DOS, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have something that was like straight from the BIOS straight into the operating system. And then everything after that is in the interface you remember from 1994 Macintosh. Windows you drag by the title bar with a rubber band outline, menus you pull down and drag through, etc., etc., etc. The whole thing fits in 256 kilobytes of RAM on an Intel 8086 or 8088. The processor and the original IBM PC and PC XT. It is a hobby project. It is finished enough to use, and the source is 11,000 lines of assembly. You can read it in an afternoon. Well, we'll make it available soon. This is some information about all, handwritten by AI. That's funny. Back buffer. All right, so we'll fix this soon. And let's see here. It's kind of interesting. This is explaining to me a lot, but we'll make some changes. What it does here is that, so this is preemptive multitasking here, dragging loadable software. You can have programs like this. I like how these are really great screenshots that I created. It watches itself, a live CPU meter with scrolling history graph, a RAM readout. Okay, all the screenshots. Oh, I has the desktop, the file menu, dragging a window. Wow, I can't believe that it actually did this all by itself. This is impressive. The bunch of stuff. My God. And they're animated. Like, I did not expect it to be animated. This is really cool. Minesweeper. Nice. Okay. So that's that. The history is, it is arguing with. Okay. It added some stuff. What is not? It's not DOS, and it does not run DOS programs. There is no DOS underneath it. It owns the machine from the boot sector up. It has no memory protection. The 86 has none to offer. Every program shares a 164 kilobyte segment with the kernel, which is precisely what makes a context switch cheap enough to be worth doing. Okay, I have to figure out if I do have a 64K limit. There is no file writing. OS88, the notepad's text live in RAM and dies with a window. Okay, stuff will need to change. We'll need to change all of this. There is no networking, no sound, no hard disk support yet, none of this stuff. It is a hobby project, not a product. Well, it is also complete enough that you can sit down and use it, which is the whole point. All right, you can boot it in your browser. All right, so let's see here. Boot it in your browser. This page, this runs the real thing. The same 1.44 megabyte floppy image on the download page is fed to an emulated PC in this tab. Boots into its own 512K boot sector and puts up the desktop. All right, so let's see. It's gonna boot. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, I can't shrink the. How do I make this zoom? Well, it doesn't want me to like. It doesn't let me zoom in or out. So this is supposed to be the capture pointer. Oh, okay. So now I'm here. I'm inside the operating system. And I can go to special. This is the actual thing. The task manager. This is obviously not running at 4.77 megahertz. 640K of RAM. Wow, fancy. All right, I obviously have to fix the sizing here somehow, but bounce, how's bounce? Okay, at least the timing is right. Definitely a lot faster in the browser. And then Minesweeper. Wow, that is fast. All right, so if you get like a Pentium, this is gonna be blazing fast. Very cool. All right, well, I'll let you explore the rest, but as you can see here, by the time this is, I don't know how to escape. I don't know. How do I click the screen first? I have no idea how to get out of this. It captured the mouse. Oh, you have to press escape. Okay, good. You have to press escape to get out of that. All right, cool. Yeah, so this is it. This is the operating system running in a browser and source on GitHub. That is not going to be ready yet. This is still private, but once I publish it, that will be available. And the download page, you have 4 disk images available. So you have OS 88 boot disk, the 360 kilobyte version of it, the apps disk for 1.4 megabytes, and this one is for the same thing, same process, different geometry. Cool. And then this explains how to run it. And yeah, and this explains how to load it up and how to run it in 86 box. Very, very cool. And this is writing to a real media. You can, it's a 720 sectors of 512 bytes. So this explains how to write it to a floppy disk. Very cool. Very cool. Well, this explains that this assumes that you have a 360 kilobyte floppy drive connected to your Linux box. And then this will come up pretty soon. All right, awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little adventure. I'm going to leave it here, and I'll put the link to the website, of course, on the bottom. It's os88.com and os8088.com. And you can check it out. Hopefully, by the time you're seeing this, it's already out, and you can try it out. All right, thank you.